Yes, hello. Yes, hello. Can you hear my voice? Hello. Yeah, thank you. Let me continue. Yeah. We are in UI, web UI programming. In that UI programming, what all topics we have and what is UI, what all the other programmings are involving here. These all I'll explain to you. Here we are in web UI. UI here it is a user interface. Here UI is nothing but it's a user interface. To create this user interactive page, here user interface is nothing but it's a front end program. Here front end here it is. Here we are going to learn that is HTML 4 and 5. Second topic CSS 2 and 3. Third topic JavaScript. Here fourth one jQuery. Here fifth one Ajax. Here sixth one responsive design. Here responsive design. Here seventh one will be bootstrap. Here eighth one will be less and SAS programming. Ninth one here it is project. 10th one here exam. Like this, I'll continue total topics for our content. Here it is what this is here front end programming. Front end here. When you enter any URL in the browser, whatever application you can see, that is what front end. Here, total duration of my content here. Duration of my course will be here next 2 months. Next 2 months, I'm going to continue on all these topics. Here, we are learning here web UI programming. UI here, it is a user interface. We are learning here in this. Here in this, we are learning here what is UI, what all topics comes under this, and how we are going to learn all these topics in the daily basis. Those all I'll explain to you in the demonstration. Okay. Here in this UI means here user interface. To create that user interactive page, we are learning here UI. To create user interactive page, we have to learn all these topics. Present market, present development environment is looking for, along with this all topics, here one framework. Wherever you are in any development, they are looking for framework level developers. Here, framework. This framework here, Angular, React, Node, here, Angular, React.js, Node.js, Vue.js. Here, like this, so many JavaScript related frameworks we have. If you complete any one framework here, then only here, if you complete any one framework here, then only you will be a front-end developer. Any one framework is required. No need to learn all the frameworks. Here we are learning here web UI. UI here it is a user interface. Here I'm explaining here. This user interactive page we can create it by learning this list of all topics. Okay. And Monday to Friday I'll take topic sessions. Saturdays, one Saturday I'll go for project session, one Saturday I'll go for exam. Generally, in Saturday sessions, I'll go for project session as well as exam. Here, exam. In this, here, Monday to Friday, I'm taking topic session. Topic related 25 questions I'll give you on Saturday. Once the topic is over, once the topic, first topic, suppose HTML over, that HTML related exam I'll conduct on Saturday. CSS completed, CSS related exam I'll conduct on Saturday. So like that, I'll continue all my topics. Here we are learning here web UI. UI here it is a user interface. To create this user interactive page, we have to learn that list of all topics all are like this. Here when you enter any URL in the browser, so whatever application you can see, that is what here you are. Here when you enter any URL in the browser, suppose if you are entering here www.google.com. So google.com, whatever application you can see starting, you can see here Google homepage and you can find it here search option. So once you click on that search option, your data will be redirected to server. This is what here front-end programming. In this front-end programming, once you click on this search option, your data will be redirected to server. This server will redirect to database. So this three-tier architecture you can observe here in every front-end programming. In every web page, you can see here front-end to server, server to database. Like these interactions, you can observe here in every programming. Here we are learning here web UI. UI means user interface. So starting page, this is here Google URL. If you enter whatever application you can see, this is UI. And that result, whatever you will search it. Suppose if you are searching here toys, the toy related all search result, you will get it here within few seconds of time. Here all the links you will get Amazon toy, Flipkart toy and Amlay toys. Like that, you will get it here all result for our application. So result and data, what you are getting here, this result and data is coming from server to database. Here, this is our server programming. Here, this is our database programming. Here, databases are here. Oracle is one database. MySQL is one database. SQL Server is one database. Like that, so many databases. Servers are here. It is PHP server, Java server, .NET server. Here, Python server. Like this, you can find it here. List of all server programs. We are learning here front-end programming. In this front-end programming, so once you click search option, your data is redirecting to server, server connecting to database. This type of interactions you can observe here in every UI programming. Here in every UI programming, you can find it here, this type of result. So every time my front-end page is connecting to server page is connecting to database. So this type of interactions you can observe here in every front-end programming. In this time, in this front-end programming time, you can find it here. This UI page always connected to server. This is our UI page. This UI page always connected to server. Server connected to database. See here, my input is going to server. This total architecture, we call it as three-tier architecture. This is what here MVC architecture. MVC. So this is what here model view controller architecture. Model view controller architecture. We always use it to create our application. Here model view controller architecture. Generally we will use it here to develop our application. Here in this time, model view controller architecture we are using here to develop this type of output. Here in this time we are developing one project with 3 team of developers. One is web UI developers. So web UI developers have to know what I mentioned, that list of all topics. Along with that, any one framework, Angular or React or Node. If you complete it, then only you will be a front-end developer. Second one here, server-side developers. Who know server-side programming, they called as server-side developers. You don't need to learn all servers. Any one server, Java server, Python server, .NET server. If you know, then only you will be a server-side developer. Next one here, database developers. Who know databases, they only called as database developers. So we are learning here UI programming. So we want to become a front-end developer, UI developer. For that UI developer, you have to learn this mentioned all topics. Along with that, any one framework. Then you can apply for the position of front-end developer. So as of now, I explained title description. So what is our input field here? What is our UI programming? In that UI programming, what is our UI programming? In that UI programming, what all topics are involving and how it is helpful for developing application. So these all you can find it here in our UI. In our UI programming, you can find it here, what all topics we have and each topic related brief information you can understand here. Here, I'm explaining here UI programming. In this UI programming, see here. In this UI programming, we are learning here UI. UI means here it is user interface to create this user interactive page. Here, we are learning here web UI. UI means here user interface, user interactive page. We can create it for our application. Here in this time, whenever we develop that UI programming, this time, here you can able to develop your application. See here. In this UI programming, you can see here that list of all developments like this. Here, we want to become only front-end developer. So here I'll show you one web page here, sample web page here. See, I'll show you facebook.com. In this facebook.com, you can see here, this is one front-end page. If you click on submit button, your data will be redirected to, see, this is one login page. See here, from this URL, you can understand here, this is our server programming. Login.php. You can see login.php here. This is what here, server programming. After clicking submit button of your use email address password, you will redirect to one page that is PHP. PHP is one server page we are using here to submit our application to server. Here in this time, you can see here PHP programming. So this UI is connecting with a PHP programming. PHP programming will connect with database. So 3 team of developers are working for this PHP, for this Facebook development. One is front-end development, second server development, third database development. So 3 team of developers are working for one single application. This is what here front-end programming. In this front-end programming, here we will develop this type of input boxes, buttons, radio buttons. Here, email address box, password box, submit button, and here forgot password. Here like this, you will find it here, all the list of results. All the list of results, you will get it as your output. This is possible by our front-end programming. Here, if you click on this sign up option, you can see here one sign up application form. Here also you can see here r.php. So completely server page, after clicking submit button, you will redirect to server page. That server page is possible by our, here server page is by Java, .NET, Python, different programming, but a common front end. For any type of server development, common will be the front end part. Front end will be developed by front end developer. They called as UI developers. UI developers has to learn that list of all topics what I mentioned. Along with that, any one framework, if they complete, here any one framework, if they complete, then only they called as front-end developer. So PHP website is one example for front-end. Server is front-end is our UI. Server is here r.php, here PHP programming. After entering your all details, you will submit your application form to server. Here, after entering all details, you will submit your application form to server. That server is here Java server, .NET server, like that you can use. See here, right click, inspect element on this. Here only you can find it here. See here. This is one server programming in this time. Here, this is one server programming. Here you can see here, select and date. Here, date of birth. The options it is showing here select. Select is one option they are using here for this. And one more one, if you check it here. Here date and time. See here title month and select here title. Under the select, here all options. Select and options. Drop down list they are using here. See, one drop down list is for date, one drop down list is for month, one more drop down list is for year. Here they are using here select and options only. Here it is showing here all years. Previous years only it is showing for us. See here. Here you can find it here, all the list of years. Maybe in the for loop they are iterating this one. Here up to this it is showing here as the years last year. Okay. Now you can see here, this is our UI page. In this UI page, here this is one select and options. If you check this one here, right click inspect element on this, inspect. Here you can find it here input type equal to password. So password it is showing here for password box. Here if you check it here, right click inspect element on this. This is what here email address box. Email address. See, if you don't enter, if you submit this application form, I'm getting one error message here. See, this is one total here div tag. So most of them are the div tags only. For every project, most of them are div tags. Here form tag. We'll use form tag to submit our application form. See, input type hidden. So this is what here one input element, hidden element. Here like this, you can find it here, password box and submit button. Like this, you will find it here, all different input boxes. In this input boxes, you can see here that input element, what I'm showing here, that list of all input elements will show you like this. Here, this is one input element, this is one more input element. So in this time, so here I'm going to show you input element, email address. Under this email address, you can find it here, that list of all email address will be like this. Input type text is used to display text box for our application. Here like this, we can write it here, all different input elements for our program. Here we are using here web UI programming. Under this UI programming, that list of all topics you can see. And you can see here that Facebook page is one example for front end is connecting with the server PHP. This front end, what you are able to see, these all we can develop it by our HTML. Because of HTML, you are able to create these all tags. Standard code of web page. If you check google.com or a Zoom or a Yahoo, Gmail, Twitter, for anything, standard code of HTML will be here, doc type, HTML, head and body. Standard code for any HTML page will be doc type, HTML, head and body type. Doc type here it is document type of HTML. Doc type, HTML, head and body type. This is the standard code of HTML. So doc type here, it is document type of HTML. Head tag and body tag you can see here as the HTML pages. Here doc type, HTML, head and body tag. Here under this body tag, if you remove this body tag, see here, if you don't write body tag, you cannot see any output for our application. See, if you don't write body tag, you cannot see any output for our application. This is what here our UI. See, if any HTML page, standard code of our UI. So if you submit this application form, you will redirect to server. That server is our PHP. In this, here in this URL, we are using here UI programming is connecting with the PHP programming. PHP is connecting with the database. In this UI programming, you can see here standard code of any HTML will be here, doc type, tag based programming. Here HTML, start and close. Here only you can find it here. head start and close. Here only you can find it here, body start and close. Head and body tag. Under this head section, you can see here, you can write some code related to CSS, some code related to JavaScript, and some code related to jQuery, Ajax, etc., etc. We will write it under this head. Under this body, we can write it here totally HTML tags. HTML tags only, we will write it here under this. This is the standard code for every HTML application. For every web application, this is the standard code. For every development, we will use that standard code of web page development will be like this. Here we are using here doc type HTML head and body. Under this, you can see here that HTML page will come like this. Here that HTML page, whatever HTML page we are creating here, this way only we can develop. Doc type here it is document type of HTML head and body type. Here under this head tag, you can see here CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, these all codes. Under this HTML, you can find it here all HTML tags. All list of HTML tags, you can find it here in this web page. Here we are able to see doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of HTML. Under this, you can see here document type of HTML. Doc type here, it is a document type of HTML. Here, this is the standard code. If you check one more website here, I'll show you one more website, Oracle create account. Even if you check here also, if you right click inspect element on this, see from that URL, we can understand here it is by JSP. Java server page we are using after submitting our application form. Now, if you right click inspect element on this, you can see some code here. That standard code is here doc type HTML head and body. Generally, doc type HTML head and body tag is the standard code of HTML. If I don't write the head, just delete the head part. See, I deleted the head section for my application. Output will be like this. If I don't write the head section for my application, output will be like this. So doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of HTML. Under this, so if you don't write the head section, output will come like this. If I don't write the body section, here you cannot see any output in the application. See, if I don't write the head, what happened here? Every text box button, radio button, every content it is displaying, but it is not with the background image, center alignment, background colors, borders, all it is not displaying. So if you don't write the head section, there is no CSS and JavaScript code. Here, this is one URL. In this URL, we are connecting our front-end page with the server. Here, you can understand here, this is our UI page. In this UI page, our front-end programming is connecting with the server programming, that is JSP page. Here it is comes under Java. JSP page here comes under Java. It will connect to database. 3 team of developers are working for this application. One is front-end development, second server-side development, third database development. In this front-end development, UI programming time, you can find it here. Here only you can find it here, doc type HTML head and body. So you can find it here, doc type HTML start and close. Here head start and close and body start and close. Head and body tag you can show you for our application. Head tag generally will use it here to write our CSS and JavaScript code. CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Ajax, here, all codes we will write it here. Okay, so next one here only you inside the body tag, we will write it here, all our HTML tags. HTML tags, all we can write it here under this body. I'm explaining here doc type HTML head and body. This is the standard code of HTML. Under this HTML, you can find it here. Here, the standard code of HTML will be here. In this UI programming, we are learning here doc type HTML head and body. This is the standard code of HTML. In this HTML page, if you submit your application form, you will redirect it to server. That servers are different based on that client requirement. Based on the client requirement, we have to develop our UI page, and based on their requirement only, we have to use server programming. They'll decide, client will decide at the time of project development, what is their front-end programming and front-end related framework, and server related framework, and database. So they have to know about that. Then only they'll start. Okay, so few projects we develop it front end with the server Java, front end with the server Python, front end with server PHP. Like that, we'll use different server programmings to connect with our database. Okay, so main usage of this server and database here to run our dynamic business logic, dynamic content and business logic for our application. Generally, we will write it here in the Java page or a database page. Here, Java page, generally we'll use it here to develop our front-end application. In this Java page, here only you can find it here. This front-end programming here, UI. This UI will connect to database. So database here is our front-end programming. Front-end is connecting to server, database back to server will give you resultant page for us. That resultant page again UI page for our application. Here, this is our server page. After submitting, you will get here resultant page. That resultant page again UI page for our application. Here, starting page is a UI page and resultant page is also called as UI page. Here is our front end page and that resultant page is also a UI page. Here you will get, after entering your all details in this create account page of the Facebook. Here, after entering all the details, you will submit your data to server. That server is here JSP. JSP here, see here in this UI page, after clicking submit button, after entering all these details, you will click on this create account. By this, your data will be redirected to server. See here, I'll click on this button. So I'm able to redirect to server. That server here it is like this. Here we are connecting with the server page. That server page will be like this. Okay, server page only, but it is not submitted. It is redirecting to server page, but here it is not submitted because I didn't enter all these details. Once I enter all these details, registration success, go for login, like that it will give you a screen for us. Whenever you store all these details in the database and server, then only it will display that type of output for us. Here, we are learning here UI and this is here Oracle. For this Oracle, we'll use our application like this. Okay, so this way of development you can show for our execution. Even if you check it here, one more website here, Union Bank is one site. In this time, you can see here ASP. ASP here it is active server page. Active server page, will use it as our UI page. Here active server page, will use it as here active server page we are using here for this UI programming. Active server page. So here in this URL, you can understand here. Here this front end is connecting with 3 different URLs. I'm explaining here 3 different server programmings we are using. Facebook, after submission, it will go to r.php. So PHP programming. This Oracle create account is redirecting to JSP. So this is one Java programming. Here and one more one here, .NET programming. Under this .NET programming, you will redirect your application form to here. You are redirecting your application form to .NET server. This is one UI page. This UI page is connecting here. Here UI page is connecting here with the .NET programming, .NET. That is what here active server page ASP. This ASP page will connect to database. This database may be SQL Server or MongoDB or Sybase, like that. We'll use it here, different server programs. Here we are learning here UI programming. Under this UI programming, this front-end programming, here if you right-click inspect element on any front-end programming, this UI page will connect to, here only you can find it here, doc type, HTML start and close. Under this, you can write it here, head start and close and body start and close. This is the standard structure for any HTML page. This is only the standard structure for any HTML page. So this way only generally will create our HTML application. If you are creating any HTML application here, that standard structure will be like this. Front end connected to server, server connected to database. So this type of interactions you can observe here in every front-end program. In every front-end programming, you can find it here, this type of results. So in this time, so when I connect it here, in this front-end programming, when I connecting here, my application form, here, whenever we connect our server page here, that server page here, our front-end page, in this front-end page, you can find it here, doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of HTML. Doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of HTML. In this time, here doc type, here it is document type of HTML. Doc type means here it is document type of HTML. Head and body tag you can show you for our execution. Here only you can find it here, doc type HTML head and body. Under this document type of HTML is doc type. Okay, so document type of HTML, we call it as doc type. Here in this time, you can find it here, first programming here, HTML. Common code, every web page common code is doc type HTML head and body. This is the standard code. So now I'm explaining here, up to now, 3 different programming, 3 different websites, and what is front end and what is our real-time environment, how the 3 team of developers will work. Here, these all I explained, basic information about the title with a different server, web UI with a different server. For that, I used to explain 3 different URLs with the 3 different server programs. Next, I'm going for next one here. Here, next I'm going for next programming here. So next here in this standard code here, HTML. This is our first topic. First topic of our content here, HTML. HTML is a hypertext markup language. It's a hypertext markup language. Here, markup means here it is tag-based programming. Here, markup is nothing but it's a tag-based programming. Tag is nothing but it's an instruction to browser. Instruction to browser. We can give our instruction to the browser in the form of tags. Here, these tags are here. We are learning here tag-based programming. Tag is nothing but instruction to the browser. We can give our instruction to the browser in the form of tags. Here, these tags are here. We have 2 types. 2 types of tags we have. So one is paid tag here. Second one is here unpaid tag. So 2 types of tags we have. One is paid tag, another one unpaid tag. Under this paid tag, you can find it here. One is paid tag, another one unpaid tag. Any HTML page, we can write it here. Tag name start and close. Here we will write that paid tag like this. Tag name start, tag name close, like this we will write. So example for this here, body tag, HTML tag, head tag, all comes under paid tags. Here unpaid tag here, second category here, unpaid tag. This tag is here instruction. I want to talk in one language. That language will be in the form of instruction. That language, first I have to learn. Here in that language, I have to learn that starting here that alphabets, then words, vocabulary, then grammar, then you can write or read in that language. If you want to write or if you want to read any language, we have to follow that language related instructions. Okay, here we are using here pair and unpaired tag. So you can write it here, tag name. Unpaired tag is also, tag is an instruction. So I'm giving my own instruction to particular browser. So my program will be executed by browser. So I have to give my instructions to the browser only. I need image. I want to display image. So I'll write it here using this unpaired tag. Some list of tags are comes under paired tags. Some list of tags are here unpaired tag. This is already decided in the browser. So we are learning here paired tags and unpaired tags for our application. Paired here, whenever you start the tag, definitely you need to close the tag. That one only we call it as paired tag. Here we are learning here paired and unpaired tags here. Pair means here once you start the tag, definitely you need to close the tag. Unpaired tag, we can write it here. That list of all tags are here. Self-closing tag is an unpaired tag. Here we are learning here paired tags and unpaired tags for our application. In this time, we are going to show you that list of paired and unpaired tags for our application will be like this. With this, we can execute our program. Okay. Here HTML is a hypertext markup language. Markup here it is a tag-based programming. Tag is nothing but instruction to the browser. We can give our instructions to the browser in the form of tags. Here these tags are here, paired tags and unpaired tags. Two types of tags we have. One is paired, so starting tag, ending tag, unpaired. It basically by using this HTML, you can create a skeleton part of the web page. Here by using this HTML, you can create a skeleton of web page. Skeleton, basic skeleton of a web page. If you want image, buttons, radio button, left side content, right side content, paragraph, div tag, all total division of the web page, total structure of the web page. Sorry, basic skeleton of the web page, we can create it by this HTML. That's why if you remove this body, you cannot see any output. If you remove this head, you cannot see any alignment. See, I'll remove this body tag. You can see so many instructions. All are in the form of tags only. If you remove this body tag here, delete the body. See, if you don't write body tag, there is no content. See, I'm able to display one image by one particular tag. See, here I can show you. This is one heading. There is no image. Here, this is one heading. Here, H1 tag I'm using here for this heading. Here, if you delete it, see there is no heading. H1 tag I'm using here to display this heading. So I removed the heading H1 tag. So I cannot show you any output. So this way of development you can show. See, if you refresh it, here if you remove the body tag, head tag, I removed the head section. See, here you cannot show you any output for our application. I deleted the head section. You cannot show any output for our application. See, you can see head section. If you can see that output, but there is no proper alignment. So if you check it here, right click inspect element, see here image tag. Image tag we are using here to display this type of logo for our application. And it is unpaired tag. Here there is no special closing tag for this. But see here header tag, there is a closing tag. Div tag, there is a closing tag. Here for few tags we are writing separately closing tags. For few tags we are not writing any separate closing tags for our application. Here I'm writing here all heading tags we using here to display our header page for our application. In this heading tags, you can display your output for our application by using all these tags. Here you can learn here HTML basically creates skeleton of a web page. Under this head tag, body tag, script tag all comes under our HTML tags. Here only you can find it here. Div tag is used to display division of the web page. Here you can find it here. Body tag is used to display body part of our application. If you don't write body, I already showed you. So no content. Okay. So by this, we can understand here. First, we understood every website in that what is UI part, what is server part, what is the database part. In this front end part, here UI part, in this UI part, what is the role of HTML? First, we discussed title, UI. What is UI? What all topics comes under that. Next, after that, we discussed here UI related front end and server and database, the 3-tier architecture. After that, this front end related basic programming part. If you check only HTML, it will be doc type HTML head and body. That is the standard code for any HTML page, any web page, browser application, any browser application. Standard code will be here, doc type HTML head and body. Here, if you use it here, doc type, it is here document type of HTML. Doc type HTML head and body is the standard code of HTML. Under this doc type, document type of HTML. Doc type is nothing but it's a document type of HTML. Under this, you can find it here. This is doc type, document type of HTML. Under this doc type, you can see HTML tag and header tag and body tag. If you don't write the header tag, you cannot see any, if you don't write the header tag, you cannot see any proper alignment for our application. If you don't write the body tag, you cannot see any content for the application. Okay, this is about the basic information about the HTML. Basic information of UI, basic information of HTML. Okay, so next I'll go for second one here. Second topic of our course is here CSS. CSS code, generally we will write it here inside the HTML tag only. We will write it here. Standard code of HTML will be doc type, HTML start, HTML close. Under this, you can write it here, head tag and body tag. Inside this head section, here, inside this head section, whatever content I'm writing here, see inside the head section, I can write CSS code. CSS code for my application, we can write it here with this head section. Because of head section, I can show you here header part for our application. Here, CSS code, we will write it inside the head section. CSS, it is here cascading style sheet. Here itself, it is cascading style sheet. So main usage of the CSS here, style part of web page. Style part of the web page, we can create it with the CSS. CSS mainly gives you style part of our application. Here, style part of the web page, we can develop it with this. So next I'm going for here. Here we are learning here UI. Under this UI, you can find it here. CSS. CSS mainly gives you style part of the application. Style. Here under this style, you can see here background colors. Here background color, border, text related styles, font related styles. Here etc. etc. You will learn it under CSS. Under CSS only, you will learn here text related all styles, font related all styles by CSS. Here, CSS mainly gives you style part of our application. In this style part, you can find it here. Under this style part, Here under the style part, you can see here, suppose if you want to see one color, if you want to change it. So I'll show you one color here. Here, this backside div tag, it is showing here. That one I want to change it. So this is here entire div tag. Under this one more div tag. Here this is total. Okay. Here form tag. If you open this form, no, nothing. Here selected one I want to show you. Here body tag and input element iframe. Here iframe script elements. After this, see, just I want to find this div tag. Right click, inspect element on this. Here I want to show you this particular div tag. Here header content. Okay, so for this, if I write here background color. Color, I'm writing here background color. So I'll write it here gray. See here, gray color is applied for this div tag. Here, I want to change this span. Here, span color, I want to change it. So you can write it here. This is one span content. For this, I'm changing here color red. See here, red. That span content already you have Oracle account. It is showing here in red color. This is font color. Next, you can go down. Here it is one image and anchor tag. Here after this is one total div tag. For this total div tag, I'll give you one background color for this. See here. Can you see this application form with a different color? See here, I'm able to change that color structure for my application. Here, left and right alignment, color structures, all we can do it with this program. Because of second topic CSS, I'm able to create my output like this. Here colors I'm able to, this first half is the HTML, the second half is the CSS. So because of this, you can create here HTML content and CSS content. This way only we can execute our program. So we are learning here, second topic here, we are going to learn second topic here, that it is mainly used to write alignment and colorful structure of the application. We can also create it here, alignment of web page. Alignment of the web page, we can create it with the CSS. CSS gives you alignment of the application. HTML gives you here basic skeleton of the web page. So we are able to create a skeleton part of the web page and we are able to create a style part of the web page. Skeleton and the style part of the web page, we can create it with this. Next, I'm going for next topic here, JavaScript. See, third topic of our course is here, JavaScript. Because of JavaScript, what I can create? See, check it. Here, JavaScript, it's a functionality. Functionality of web page, we can create it. We can create it using JavaScript. Here, functionality of a web page, we can easily create it with this JavaScript. Here, JavaScript gives you functionality to our application. That functionalities are here. Here, see, I'm submitting my application form. See, I'll submit here. So this one, I'll submit. Here, without any data, if I submit it, I'm getting error message like this. This error message is because of, here, this error message we can able to see, this is because of JavaScript. Because of JavaScript, you can see here this type of output. So like this, you will learn here all one by one our UI programming. In our UI programming, you can find it here one by one, all the topics like this. Here in our UI programming, you can see here the third topic is here JavaScript. Because of that, we can add functionality. Cookie, local storage, validation of the application form, cookie, local storage, session storage. Here, etc., all comes under functions, animations, all you will learn it under JavaScript. Today, I explain basic title of my course. And after that, what will be the real scenario? The 3-tier architecture, 3 team of developers. In that first team UI, in that first topic HTML, I showed you 3 different websites with the different server programmings. Facebook is with PHP, Oracle is with Java, and Union Bank account is with the ASP page, .NET page. So like that, I explain here the programming, how it will be connected with the different server programs. Those all we discussed. Next, after this, we'll go for here. We learned here all basic information about our content. Here, after this, I started first topic introduction, second topic introduction, third topic introduction. So like this, totally we have these many topics. Okay, so once I start JavaScript session, that day onwards, you can parallelly start any Angular or React classes. Angular or React classes, if you start, then it will be helpful to join as a front-end developer. You can join as a front-end developer if you complete any one of the framework. Next here, these all list of topics I'm going to show you under Web UI programming. Okay, so in the demonstration time today and tomorrow, I'll continue on the each topic introduction. See, we discussed 3 topics, right? Today and tomorrow, remaining all topics, introduction, I'll explain. By tomorrow, I'll finish my demonstration. Then Wednesday onwards, I'll start my first topic here, HTML4. And everyday class, I'm uploading in one drive. I created one Gmail drive. Okay, so I already completed demonstrations for few students. They are in hold. So you are going to merge with them. So demonstration I completed for few students. You are going to merge with them. See how many demo classes, how many classes I have conducted. See every class recording, every class paint file, every class programs and recordings, everything document. Document here, course content and HTML4 document. Course content and HTML4 document I uploaded in this. Paint file, here each topic related paint file I'll upload here. Sorry, whatever explanation I'm doing here, the topic related paint file date wise I'll upload here. And here documents, here documents and paint file programs. So here programs, if I complete anything, I'll upload that. And recordings here, all class recordings I am uploading here in this recordings folder. So like this, I'll continue all my topics. Okay, this way only I'll continue all my topics for my application. Okay, here this drive is already shared with few students. You can check it here, their information. If I get your mail ID, then I can start sharing my drive with you. So if I complete this one, so then I'll start sharing my drive with you. So by that, everyday class you can access. Everyday class you can access here with this. Okay, so here I added all these. Here, up to now, if you have any doubt, you can ask, please. So I'm completing all like this. Here. Okay. Drawing tool. Yeah. So up to now, I explained today's topic. So if you have any doubt, you can ask, please. Course timing will be regular. It will be 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Wednesday onwards, today and tomorrow, it is 6:30 to 7:30. And Wednesday onwards, it is 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Any doubts up to now? Yes, please. Any doubts up to now? Unmute and ask your questions if you have anything. Notes, everything will be available in the drive only. Class recording, paint files, programs, everything will be available in the drive, 6 a.m. drive. Class current recordings and all other, everything will be available in the drive only. Okay. Yeah. So we'll meet tomorrow at 6:30 sharp. I'll continue my class. Thank you. Here, I'll continue my class on this demonstration, but after that, link will change for Wednesday session. You have to complete your registration, then link will change for tomorrow session, Wednesday session. Tomorrow, link will be same. Thank you.